Welcome back to Archer's World of Literature, and welcome back to the second episode of the monthly chapter. This is the monthly chapter for November. Now, for those of you who have seen the first one for October, you know what this is all about. For those of you who haven't watched that video or are new to this series that I've started, the monthly chapter is essentially just a monthly update, just me talking about some social things that I've been up to, some writing updates if I've done any, what I've read during the month, the content I put out on the channel, and also talking about my plans for next month's content on the channel as well. We're going to talk about all these things. It's been a pretty good month of reading for me, and I can't wait to share all those details with you and all the plans for next month on the channel. So let's do it. So first off, we're going to talk about what I am currently reading, and I'm currently about just over halfway through Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh. My lighting is terrible, apologies. Now, it's been really fun. I can't really see if there's a story to it. It just seems to be just like each chapter is sort of just this different thing happening that's supposed to sort of just shock you and blow your mind. It kind of reminds me of American Psycho in that aspect, where it's completely different to American Psycho. I'm not comparing the story or the characters or anything like that, but I'm comparing it in the sense that every chapter in American Psycho just feels like something silly and just meant to shock your mind, meant to blow your mind. Oh, I've got my cats just come over. Gonna throw the ball for her. There we go. Believe it or not, my cat plays fetch. So back to what I was saying. I sort of mean that each chapter in Trainspotting so far just means just feels like it's supposed to just like shock you in a more funny way and less sort of serious and brutal, violent way than American Psycho does. Nonetheless, I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I have heard that the endings are sort of more story-driven and more built up and climactic and stuff, so we're going to see how it goes towards the end. Nonetheless, I'm enjoying the ride with this one. I'm finding it hard to tell whose perspective and which POVs are from who, but I'm sort of just treating it like they're just a group of friends and they're all quite rough and tough dudes, so most of the stories are just kind of funny little stories. But that's kind of my initial thoughts on Trainspotting at the moment, but we'll see how we go towards the end. And then I'm also currently working my way very slowly through Emily Bronte's The Night is Darkening Round Me. That is a collection of some of her poems on life and death and nature and the passage of time, as it says at the back here. And I mentioned it in one of my recent videos. It's just beautiful. Like, her poetry is just incredible. So I'm really, really enjoying just reading one of those a day. Just one or two is all you really need. Sometimes when it comes to poetry, at least for me, I like to read one or two a day, or even every couple of days alongside my fiction, just as like a little bit of not like a palate cleanser, but just like because I feel like with poetry, you can't rush it. Like, you can't really do more than one or two a day, because otherwise you sort of get them convoluted and confused. So I feel like it is really good to do one or two a day, so you can process it and really analyze it and let it sit with you, because poetry is something that, in my opinion, you have to let sit with you for you to adjust to the meaning and interpret it that way. So that's what I'm reading at the moment. I'm going to go through what I read during the month. So during the month of November, I had a pretty good amount of reading. I didn't get to read as much books as I usually would fit during a month, but that is because one of them was Ulysses, as you may know. But I'll be back in 1 second. I'm just going to get open a list of my Goodreads account. If you haven't followed me there, link is in the description. But I'm going to get my Goodreads up so I can look through all the books that I got through in the month of November. So during the month of November, I got to read 4 books, like I said, mainly because of the big boy Ulysses getting in the way there. But so I've got Ulysses. That took me a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to read that, and that has become one of my favorite books of all time. I wanted to get it done as something that is like a book that everyone must read, like a classic that you sort of must read if you can, do the challenge. And it was a bit of a struggle. Some of the chapters were borderline impossible to understand. But I read it alongside another book, which was Terence Killeen's Ulysses Unbound, which is a reader's companion to James Joyce's Ulysses. And that really helped me interpret some of the more difficult chapters and reaffirm with me some of the things that I was following along with. Now, Ulysses it's incredible. It like fully immerses you. It's set in one day, if you don't know, it's set in one day in Dublin, Ireland in like the early 1900s. And it follows the character Leopold Bloom and Stephen Dedalus as they sort of cross paths and go their separate ways during this day, and they meet up towards the end. But it's just them going about their business during this one day. And Leopold Bloom's sort of afraid to go home because his wife's, afraid. He's afraid of his wife cheating on him, which she sort of is having these scandalous relationships with other men. And so he's sort of just depressed and wandering around the town. And then Stephen Dedalus has sort of this odd parallel with Leopold Bloom, like a little bit inverted though. And so they sort of have this strange connection towards the end. But it's just incredible. Joyce fully like teleports you into Dublin. Like he makes you learn like how Dublin was back then and a full history of Ireland and the Irish people in the early 1900s, like in a book set in one day. And it is big, but to accomplish such an ability to make you feel like fully teleported into this world, into a part of history that you may or may not even like be aware of, is incredible. I've never seen it done like he did before. So yeah, that's Ulysses and Ulysses Unbound. And then the third book that I got to this month was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I did do a review on that, so check that out up here if you haven't already. Had so much fun with that. That was absolutely brilliant, and I cannot wait to keep going in the realm of the Elderlings. And then actually the other day I just finished the sort of duo short story collection, which was White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and that was brilliant. White Nights follows this man who basically is super alone in the world, and if you read any of Dostoevsky's books, that's pretty much the main character for all of his books. But it follows this man who's never had a friend, he's never had a relationship, not like a romantic relationship, but a strong relationship with anyone, like a friend, a girlfriend, anyone. And he ends up finding this girl who's crying alone on this bridge one night, and then she ends up sort of running away because she thinks that, he's going to approach her or something. And then he actually sees her getting chased by this other man, and he stops in and tells this guy to stop, and he sort of comes in like this hero, this white knight sort of thing, but he ends up striking up this relationship as a friend with this woman, and then he ends up feeling this romantic connection inevitably, and she actually feels this connection as well, but then she ends up cheating on him, and it's this really awful ending. It's such a sad book, but it was really good. His writing style is unbeatable for a classic literature book. Like, it's just so easy to read, and his use of language and his use of character and setting, and how he can actually teleport you to St. Petersburg and Russia like that. Similar to Joyce, he can really just transport you and teleport you to that place in time, is incredible. So that was the 4 books that I got up to this month. I'm hoping to have a bit of a stronger month of reading this month of December. I haven't been working as much recently, so I might be able to squeeze in a few more reads. But yeah, if you want to see what those are, keep an eye on the channel, and they will be in the next month's monthly chapter for December. So that's what I got up to this month. Now we're going to talk into this month activity on the channel. So some of the popular content, least popular content, some of the analytics, just sort of things for me to keep an eye on what worked on the channel this month and what didn't. So some videos on the channel, what I got up to on the channel this month. I got a vlog in with my mate Jaden the Street Poet. We went around to some alleyways in Melbourne, and we just looked at some street poetry and just looked at some alleyway art and stuff. We went to the Nichols building, and he actually filmed a video there, and then I was just reading on the steps. We explored some of the shops in that building, and then we went down to the beach, and then we came back to my place and we filmed a podcast, which is actually hopefully going to be put on his channel sometime, in the near future. So keep an eye on Jaden's channel there. Make sure you go give him a subscribe if you have not already. So that was really, really fun. I really like doing the vlogs. It's just something that I get to... It's just like me filming, documenting a period of my life when I'm having fun with friends, and it's really fun to have that video forever, and to share it with you guys as well, but also have it up there forever for me to look back and go, that's what I was doing with my friends. Like, it's a really, really special thing. And then after that, I did my first Berserk discussion. Sorry, my cat is just jumping on the table. Winnie, do you want to make an appearance? There we go. There we go. Winnie's made an appearance. She hasn't been in videos recently because she's been a little bit camera shy. Usually she likes cameos, but she's been running off when I turn the camera off. Winnie. Oh, there she goes. Let me throw the ball for her. Winnie. There we go. Okay, back with the video. I got to start on my first manga discussion, which I got quite a few requests to do, and I always wanted to start that first one on my channel with Berserk. So I got to talk about sort of just like a discussion. It wasn't a review. It was sort of like a spoiler discussion where I just talked about what happens during the first arc, and my thoughts on it. So that was really well. That one got 254 views so far, and I think I managed to get quite a few new people to the channel because manga is quite big on BookTube, I believe. So I got some new eyes on the channel, which has been really, really fun. And then they actually stuck around later because I did some more manga content later on during the month. But after this, I did my top 10 favorite books of all time. This was really fun. I really enjoy compiling top 10 lists. It's just really fun to sort of try my hardest, right? Because it's not easy. Try my hardest to narrow them all down in a specific order. Because sometimes you can't choose a favorite book. So I really like the challenge of narrowing it down to just 10 and narrowing it down evenly. That one got 455 views. That one did quite well. I think top 10 videos sort of generally do quite well on YouTube. People like to hear your thoughts on certain things. So I'm really happy they do well because I really enjoy making them. So I might be doing some more of those in the near future. And then after that, I did my December TBR reveal where I talked about the books that I'm going to be reading in December. I think in that video I talked about 8 books I'm planning to get down in December. And as today is the 30th of November, I've actually already finished one on this list, and I'm nearly finished the second, which is Trainspotting. So I might have a couple of extra slots available for the end of December. So if you've got any reviews, any recommendations, let me know. Then after that, I got my second Berserk manga discussion in, which was on the Golden Age, the arc called the Golden Age. That was a lot of fun. I got a lot of really good community discussion in that one because I got a lot of people correcting me in the comments, which I really, really like. It helps me be better with what I'm doing and learn things and, work out that I have to research a few things first or whatever. Because actually the chapters in the manga that I'm reading, the chapters in Berserk they're called the Golden Age, but when it ends, apparently the arc actually continues. So I was just going off the chapter name, so now that I've been corrected by people in the comments, I'm really, really glad that people did that. And so yeah, that again got 132 views, so I think people are liking the manga content, so I'll keep that coming, and I've sort of renamed that video Golden Age Part 1, so I'll be doing Part 2 of the Golden Age. And then I think they said it's quite big. The people in the comments said it's a big arc, so it'll probably be in 4 or 5 parts, I would assume. And then I finally got my first fantasy review on this channel. I know this channel is a fantasy classics channel, but I was so busy with a bunch of classics last month or the month before that I hadn't had much time to return to magic. I wanted to come back to a magical world, and I was finally able to do that when I picked up Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I absolutely loved that. It was just, I talked about it at the start of when, what I've read during the month, but I really, really loved that, and it's just such an incredible, with such a small book, it's such an incredible opening to the possibility of a larger world, and we all know there is a larger world with the Realm of the Elderlings, but I really love worlds sort of like Stephen King's Multiverse or anything like that, where it's different trilogies and different series, but they all sort of hint towards this one world. And that is the Realm of the Elderlings. So I'm so excited to smash through all those books. I'm finishing the Farseer trilogy in December. That was in my TBR video, that I'm going to finish that trilogy. And then I'm hoping possibly in January or February to start the Live Ship Traders. Don't think they're going to be happening in 1 month though, because they are quite large. But we'll see how we go. And then actually just yesterday, because we're at the end of the month, I put up my book haul for November 2022. And as always, not much to say about that one, but that one was a lot of fun. I've already got some great comments on that video, some people saying that they appreciated some recommendations in there, and then people telling me what they picked up. And I love this community engagement that's slowly starting to happen on this channel. So keep the comments coming, even if it's just a hello or a, what are you up to, or I'm reading this, whatever it is. I love hearing from you guys. So that was some channel content for the month of November 2022. And now I'm going to get up to some next month plans in the channel, because I've got some big things coming up that I haven't actually revealed yet, but I'm going to hint towards some of them now. So some next month plans on the channel, I have some really big things coming. So I'm actually going to be starting a new series, a discussion series, just a conversation series, where I'm going to get other booktubers and other friends on a Zoom call, and I'm just going to do like sort of like an interview, but also like a discussion with them. And my first one, so I'm going to be naming this series The Page Turner. So my first guest for the episode 1 of The Page Turner, it's going to be happening, we're going to be filming it on the 13th of December, and I can't reveal who it is, but it is a very, very, very special guest, and a channel that I respect greatly and was a huge influence for me to start this channel. Probably my main inspiration to start this channel and my first introduction to BookTube. And he's a real inspiration to me. I want to reveal it so much, but I can't do it. So please keep an eye on this channel around the 13th, 14th, because I will try and post it after recording it, our Zoom call, but it may come out on the 14th as well. So I'm so excited to do that. It's such an honor that I was able to get this guest. So that's booked in for the 13th. Another thing I'm super excited to do as well, I've mentioned it a couple of times, I'm going to get a Ulysses review out, but it's going to be a collaboration with Isla Reads on Instagram, and we're going to talk, because she's the only person that I know, one of the only other people that I know that have read it, that have done this challenge to push through James Joyce's masterpiece. So I'm just going to get her to come over to my apartment. We're going to sit here in front of our shelves like usual, and we're just going to go through episode by episode. We're going to talk about our feelings about it, sort of roughly what the plot of each episode was about, the stylistic choices for each one, some of the themes, and the general story of each episode, and then we're going to wrap it up with our ending thoughts and overall thoughts about the book. So that's going to be really, really fun. I think that's going to be quite a long video because we're going to do it episode by episode, but I can't wait to have her on my channel for the first time. And then aside from that's my big videos plan. Apart from that, I'm going to be hoping to get reviews out for Assassin's Quest and Royal Assassin. Got them back to front, always forget. I'm going to be getting the reviews out for that. Also, one of my next reads is Storm of Swords Part 1 by George R.R. Martin, the one and only. So when I finish that one next after Trainspotting, I'm going to get a review up for that. So there's going to be a lot of fantasy reviews on this channel this coming month of December, so I'm super excited for that. I'm also going to be reading Naked Lunch, my first ever William S. Burroughs novel. The review is going to be up for that. I'm also going to get a Christmas themed review when we get a little bit closer to Christmas, and that is going to be Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol and other Christmas writings. So I've got some awesome plans for this channel. Got some classics and a lot of fantasy coming in, so I'm super, super excited to do all of that. This channel has been a super great outlet for me. It's improved my relationships with other people. It's improved the general happiness of my life and just my general interactions with people, because this has sort of been an outlet for me to talk about something I really, really enjoy when I don't have that many people in real life that I can talk to about these things. So I'm just super excited to continue grinding, continue putting good content for you guys, and continuing to try and get better and striving to make better content. So on saying that, if you guys have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see from me, I would be absolutely more than thrilled to hear those things. So they are the major plans for next month on the channel. So please keep an eye out if you're excited for any of those things. So that's pretty much all I got up to during this month regarding reading and regarding collaborations and all those sort of things. So this series is sort of like a video diary. It's sort of just me recording the things that I've done and sort of just getting them down on video, and just something that I can reflect on and look at the slow growth of my channel and the progression of my content, because I really want to put a lot of myself into this channel, and I want to invest a lot of time and care and everything into this channel because it means a lot to me. So Let me know what you read last month. Let me know some favorite reads from last month and maybe some reads that you didn't really like, but you expected to. Anything of that sort of nature. I would love to hear all about it. So thank you so much for watching. And as I always like to say, keep reading and peace out.